Hey guys, I'd like to welcome you to yet another video on the battleship Massachusetts. Now I'm doing a small series on the BB-59, the South Dakota class battleship. Battleship Cove, where she's now, is pretty close to us, so I figured what better way to do a model and make it look, well, accurate. I'm going to do the 1350 trumpeter as she appears today, not when she was launched. But this video, I want to show you a different model kit of the battleship Massachusetts. What I'm going to show you actually came in the souvenir pack. So I think this is in 1/720 scale, and it's the Revell model kit. So sit back, relax, get a cup of coffee, and we're going to go through the Revell 1/720 USS Massachusetts BB-59. Okay, so let's take a look. We've got the model kit. This is 1/720 scale, and this is the USS Massachusetts, the absolutely beautiful BB-59. This is Revell model kit 05031. And this came directly from the gift shop as part of a pack. Actually, we got the souvenir pack, we got the model kit, we got a book on Battleship Cove and all the vessels there, and actually had a keychain that went with it. So let's take a look at the model kit. So you can see the front, she's got that beautiful illustration of the ship. Looking at the side, let me show you guys, this is a skill level of 3. And again, this is kit 05031. And it's got the same illustration. I think it's got that on both ends of the box. It does. Looking over on the side of the box, it shows you some of the photos of the finished model. You can see how nice that came out. And the beauty of this, with me, to make the model that we're going to be doing the trumpeter, 1350 scale Massachusetts. And I get the benefit of living close to the ship, so I can make sure that it's accurate to the way she is today. You can see there's a little bit of information in different languages. Surfaces, structures, construction. Okay, that's in different language. Structurally detailed surfaces. Optional waterline or hull line model. That's good. Detailed deck, detailed movable, 40.6 centimeter gun turrets, detailed deck superstructure, 2 Kingfisher seaplanes, 2 propellers, and a display stand. And I think this is the, yes, this is the painting guide right here. So looking at the other side, you can see this particular release is from 1997. Obviously the kit's newer than that, but that's going back to 1997 for the mold. You can see the store tag, and it's got a little bit of information on the battleship. The USS Massachusetts, a battleship of the South Dakota class, went into service on December 5th of 1942. She was given the nickname Big Mammy, and with her enormous firepower took part in 11 battles, first off North Africa and Morocco, and later in the Pacific. However, after her retirement, since 1967, she's been anchored in Fall River as a museum ship. Hence the Battleship Cove connection. Looking at the back, you can see some of the kits that are also available by Revell. We have the German fast attack craft, the, what is that, the S-100 class. You can see the sea trawler, the different ships. I actually shown you guys the 1/400 scale version of the Ada Blue. Incidentally, I thought that was probably the world's cutest cruise ship. So this is that's everything on the outside of the box. So why don't we go ahead and take a look and see what this model comes with. So I'll just take all the contents out. Is that everything? Sometimes the decal sheet can get stuck in there. Alright, just want to make sure we got everything out of the box. Alright, use that as a little backdrop. Okay, the first thing we have are the instructions. And I know what's going to happen. The decals are going to come flying out. So, let's see, there's that. This is a pretty involved instruction sheet for such a little kit. But, alright, if they come out, they come out. So this is Revell, the USS Massachusetts, and you can see a finished model on the cover. So we got a little bit more information than the side of the box. So let me go ahead and read this to you. At the end of the 30s, the United States began to renew its battleships. It started with 2 battleships in the North Carolina class, followed by the 4 ships in the South Dakota class, which included the USS Massachusetts. With a displacement of 39,000 tons, this type of battleship represented the best that could be built. Capability to withstand attack at optimal combat effectiveness, with an acceptable speed were most important features of this class. The Massachusetts went into service in May of 1942, and it was first used in the European theater off the war of North Africa. In 1943, the ship moved to the Pacific and stayed there till the end of the war. In 1947, the Massachusetts was retired from service, and since 1967 has been lying in Fall River, Massachusetts as a museum ship. Technical data, displacement of 39,000 tons. Length is 207.3 meters. Her beam is 32.9 meters. And her armament is 9 40.6 centimeter guns, 20 12.7 centimeter guns, 64 4 centimeter AA guns, 30 2 centimeter AA guns, and 2 aircraft, the Kingfisher planes. A power plant, turbines with 4 propellers, 130,000 horsepower, and she could go up to 28 knots. So this is an impressive battleship. So that's the cover of the instruction sheet. So now when we look in, there's a lot of instructions, but a lot of it is in different languages. So this is the security, safety procedures on this page. And again, they're in several different languages. We go into the parts using instruments, the tools. We're going to use the knife, the file, things of that nature. We build it on the tree or paint prior to assembly. You can see the key over here, the decals to glue, no glue, the amount of times that you repeat the step. Alright, so finally we get into the build itself. Oh, actually no, we got the parts list. So we're going to have the hull with the sides of the hull, and remember we have the option to either make it a waterline or full hull, which is nice. You can see the tree that's going to have the main guns, the 45 caliber guns. You can see some of the superstructure, and then on the other one we have the smaller guns as well as the crane and the plane launches. So now we go to step 1. Step 1, you can see we're going to be doing all the deck work. So we're going to be putting on the main guns, and you can see the little piece that we're going to put underneath so that the guns can actually rotate. And then it shows you the colors to paint the deck. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to put the sides of the ship on. Parts 1 and 2, and you can see the paint code. And now we're going to glue that to the bottom of the hull in step 3. And then comes the propellers in step 4. So we'll be doing the bases as well, where the little pedestals are going to go underneath. Hold it in position. We're putting on the rudder and the propellers. And then you can see part 5, we start the superstructure. So moving on to part 6, you can see we're going to put the superstructure in place. Part 7, is that the smokestack? No, that's not. That's just the main part. And we're going to actually put that structure onto the superstructure with all of the smaller guns, and that actually looks like radar over there. On to step 9, you can see the ladders. We got some of the antennas and the platform that's going to go up on top, and more of the radar equipment. Step 10, we're going to be placing some of the smaller guns in place. And the way she is now, the gun bin may still be there, but there are no guns on top of the main guns. Step 11 is relatively simple. We're going to do the Kingfisher, the plane, and we got the little launch. Same thing with step 12, because there are 2 of those, and this goes on the back of the ship. Now, right now, the way she looks right now, the launches are gone and the planes are gone, but they do have the crane, and I know they got the gun bins. I'm trying to remember if they have the guns or not. I don't remember. You can see the color code, BB-59, and this is from 1945, the way she was when she was launched. So what we're going to do is we're going to make her look like she does today. And the rest is just empty paper. But yeah, those are the instructions. So it's a large instruction sheet for such a small model, but that's a good thing. So let's put this over here, and the decals must be in this piece of paper. Nope, I don't see the decals yet. So again, this is safety advice. Paint and glue children over the ages of 8. I think this is the same thing that was actually in there. Yeah, I think this is the same information that was in there. I don't see a decal sheet yet, because we got her name, the Massachusetts, it's on the back, as well as the 59. So we'll take a better look inside the box later, because unless it's in the bag. But all right, let's take a look at the model kit itself. I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to empty everything out, and then we'll go through it. All right, first thing I notice is her lovely hull. And you can see the propeller shafts. You see the bottom. You see where the rudder is going to go. So this would be below the waterline if you want to do the full ship. So next up, we have the deck and part of the superstructure that's on it. And there's a lot of detail on such a little model kit. This is pretty nice. You can see the anchor chains down at the forecastle. You can see some of the little areas, the little structures that are going to be on the deck. And what I want to do is I want to go over the structures with you, because you can learn so much from being at the battleship. And there are little structures that you may or may not know what they're referring to. And I think it'll be fun to show you guys that, but I'm going to do that on the ship. That'll be a different video. But you can see all of the detail. You can see the wooden deck. A lot of structure on this little thing. So if we were going to build this model, the first thing that I would do is we would paint it the gray that she looks today. We would paint it down, and then we would paint the deck. But the one we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the trumpeter 1350, and I actually have a wooden deck for it, so that'll be That'll be fun. But this is the deck, and it's not going to rest on top, remember, because we have the option of doing the waterline version of the ship. Let me show you those first. So we actually have the sides now. And if we were going to do a waterline, because that would be a pretty fun little diorama, and I thought about doing that, a diorama of Battleship Cove, where we could do all of the models. I do have a model of the lionfish. I got a model of the Hidden Sea. I don't have a model of the Joseph P. Kennedy yet, but you can see the anchor and some of the detail that's on the side of the hull with the windows down at the end. On aft you can see the ladders. So there's a lot of detail on this little kit. You can see the guns that are going to go on the side of the ship. You can see the smaller ones, and oh, here they are. Okay, see the propellers? Oh, that's a bummer. It looks like one of the propellers never molded. See right there? And the ship has 4 propellers. It's not, so that's just something that didn't take in the mold. Let's see what else we got. We got the lifeboats. Those are no longer on the ship. You can see the plane launches, and those are no longer on the ship. They would have been right in the back at the aft end. The crane is still there. And we have the mast, where you can see where the radar tower is going to go. And that radar tower is kind of like iconic, because now when you come over the bridge, just before the exit to go to Battleship Cove, you can see her tower sticking up on the side as you drive over the bridge. So let's see what else is on this. Oh, you see the rudder right there. Okay, so now the last parts tree that we have is the one where you can see the Kingfisher planes. You can see part of the superstructure right here, as well as the stand. So the ship is going to rest on a little stand. We've got the main guns. I think these are the 45 caliber main guns. When they had upgraded to the Iowa class, I believe the Iowa class has the 50 caliber main guns. You can see some of the structures that are on the gun turret or the gun itself are no longer there, so we would take that off. Like I said, I want to make her look like she does today. And you can see some more of the decks. And some of the little detail you can see on there. So this is the kind of model that if you were curious about the Battleship Massachusetts, you could feasibly get it. It's relatively inexpensive, and you could learn so much by making the model. My son had gotten it, well, I had gotten it for my son, and he really enjoyed putting it together. And it's, let me show you guys how long it is. It's in 7/20 scale. And where's my measuring tape? I can't find my measuring tape, so let's use the old-fashioned way. So we use the ruler, and it's just about 11 inches. A little more, maybe 11 1/8 inch. So it's a pretty good size model, and it's small enough where if you just wanted to do a weekend build, you could build the ship really fast and it would look respectable. And it's big enough where if you wanted to detail it up, you could really go all out on it. As you can see, the painting of the different areas on the deck, because there's a lot of structures in the plastic, and a lot of these are no longer there. So You can't beat the price. If you want to learn about the Massachusetts, and what I'll do is I'll put the link in the description if you want to get one. This one is $15 if you wanted to get it on its own, or you could get the souvenir pack. That's where they kind of group a few things together and they lower the price a little bit. But this is still relatively inexpensive. It'd be a great weekend project. And that's the Revell. This is 1720. Now the one we're going to do is that the one I'm going to feature is we're going to do the trumpeter build. And that'll be a different video. We're going to go over the plans, the unboxing, and all that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to show you guys the model kit that comes in a souvenir pack. So my friends, the next video is probably going to be the book about Battleship Cove, and that's a fascinating book. A lot of little goodies in there. So until that video, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.